Good morning, guys. Today we're going to work on Robert Kaufman Silverstone. This one looks super easy. You need a layer cake and you need 2.5-inch squares and you need 2.5-inch sashing. I'm gonna have to cut some fabric to get my 2.5-inch squares, but my big choice right now is which layer cake do I want to use. Do I want to use this one, which was the Sentiments by Kay England, or do I want to use the Country Roses? Which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to do the Sentiments and save this one for something else. And I do have, because you need, if you're going to do the sashing the way it is shown, I have fabric here that I need to cut. So let me get to cutting, and I'm going to use my new ruler. I'm excited to do that, but let me just set some of this stuff up out of my way. It's going to fall anyway. So let me get to cutting and get my fabric cut. This is a free pattern. You can find it on Fat Quarter Shop, or if you just go straight into Google and Google Robert Kaufman Silverstone pattern, it will take you to Fat Quarter Shop. Either way works. But free pattern. We're going to do this one together. It looks super easy. We're just cutting a layer cake down to 4.5-inch squares, and we are cutting some 2.5-inch strips, and some of those strips will be cut down into squares. So let me get this fabric going. Go. I need more coffee. Okay, so I haven't cut yet. I was going to, first time I'm trying this mat, guys. First time I'm trying this mat. So I'm going to pin you guys down and hope, pray to the sun gods, we do not mess anything up. I'm going to line this line on my folded edge. And then make sure I'm getting all of my fabric. Tilt you guys just a hair. This is the cutter. This is, and it's weighted. So it's got some, I mean, you can definitely tell there's some weight on this. So I'm right-handed, so I'm going to flip, and I have not used this yet. So we're going to see. Did that cut? Did I even cut anything? See, I don't know how much pressure I need to put down. Okay, there we go. I'm going to be careful. I know everybody fusses, don't leave your blade open. Oh, I got lint all over me. Okay, anywho, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is markings at the bottom. There you go. There's a square and there's a star. So from my understanding, the squares are every 2.5 inches. They're already marked. So every 2.5 inches is a square. Okay. Let me line back up here. So that was the edge. So I'm looking for my square. Which would be right here. I think I got to start from this side right here. I don't know. We're learning this together. Because here's my box. 10, 11, 12, and that's a half. Let's cut it, see what we get. So like I said, we're learning this together. And he said you don't really have to put a lot of weight on the mat. To hold it down, that it's pretty grippy. Okay. There's one cut. And when I first started, when I would fold my fabric up like this, I would get waves. And that was like, you know, learning to cut without getting those bows in your fabric. So this is 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. So I'm going to go to my next block, which is right here. Oh, I think I didn't get all the way. Oh, yes, I did get all the way through. Oh my gosh. Okay. It doesn't feel like you're getting all the way through. That knife is so sharp. And I'm looking because I'm off my table. That's why I'm having to put my finger under there to find my next line. So there's one. Here's the next one. 2.5 inches, 2.5. Oh my gosh, guys. I'll gently pull this over. I can't do, see if I push you guys back a little bit. Like if I pull my mat up where I can see the blocks. There we go. There we go. That's better. Because it'll push you guys back. So I have to go from this corner here, not the corner of the mat here, but the line here is my line that I go by. There's a book. You guys know how I feel about reading instructions. Oh my gosh. So from here to here, we're going to cut. And then the next block will be this one. And then, look at that. Look. Oh my gosh. The next block is 5. And then the next block is 2.5. And then the next block is 0. So I have this little bit left to cut. But look at that! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love my hubby. I love my hubby. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I'm probably going to make a fresh cut since I moved that around. I'm going to line up my lines again. Let's go over here. My fabric's scooching around, and I don't want to bump you guys because that will throw you off. Trying to figure out where I want to line it up at. Right there. So we'll cut that edge. That was the end. So we'll go over here. I don't think I will have enough for a full strip right there. I mean, I can give it a go. No, that one's shorted a little bit. But I can still get some blocks off of it. So, I'll just put it for strips, for string quilt. Okay. Now, let's do it the other way. I'm going to take a strip and line it up. Let me sit you out of the way. And then we'll take another strip. Because I forgot how many of these I have to have. It's quite a few. And then another strip. Because the block is actually very simple. You're just snowballing. And then another strip. And just line these all up nice and neat. Do one more set of 2 here. If I can get them to lay. Yes, my hand is killing me today, but guys, it is what it is at this point. I mean, I went for years with my back killing me, and I've just learned to deal with it. I have a doctor's appointment on the 22nd of July. Oh, by the way, happy July. Today is the first day of July. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to cut my selvage off so we can line up right here. This will get my selvage. Flip my blade over. See what we got. So selvage is cut. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. This is a game changer. Okay. I don't know how many that was. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these. Because whatever if I don't use it, it just goes in my 2.5 inch little bin to use later. Same thing. I've moved them around, so I'm going to trim me a straight edge. Lining up on a line here. Okay, making sure I have enough on each side to get plenty of squares here. There's a box. There's a box. There's a box. There's a box. I think that's it. Okay. My edges out of the way. Lay my ruler over here. And this was what was left, and they're folded, so I can open this up and still have some fabric. So I'm not throwing those little bits away. They will go over here in my little crumb basket. All right, so there. How long did that take? Oh my goodness gracious, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. That is just, that thrills me to death. Okay, I'm going to use the Sentiments Charm Pack that we got. Charm Pack, shoot, layer cake. And I did just go top off my coffee. So children, I'm ready for my second cup. Go ahead and get this broke loose. And we're going to be cutting these into, I might keep this little piece of board. That's a nice little piece of board. I might can use that for like a design board. It was thick. Let me grab a cup of coffee. I am using my England mug. That's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so now I have these, and we're going to cut these into 4.5 inch squares from what I understand. From each square in the 10-pack square, cut 2 4.5 inch strips, and then cut again to 4.5 inch squares. That's 4.5 by 4.5. That's what I am looking at. And then it says, we need 68 2.5 inch squares. That's probably not 68, but it's a good start. I can cut more. And then we're going to need 23 2-inch strips, and those will be for the sashing. So I've not cut that yet. Select a pair of 2.5 inch fabric A's with a 4.5 inch square, right sides together, mark a diagonal line because we're just snowballing, and that's all we're doing. So let's cut these. This is going to be like easy peasy quilt, guys, easy peasy. And I'm going to just pull off, that's about 4, I think. And we're going to keep using this guy, or can I use my smaller one? What did I do with my smaller one? Oh, it's up here. Yeah, that's not big enough. So we're going to do 4.5 by 4.5. And like I said, I'm just getting used to doing this kind of cutting, so bear with me. So 4.5 and 4.5 is 9 inches. So I want to just go ahead and cut this to 9 inches. And then cut it to 9, and then cut it in half and cut it in half. Oh, you know, cutting stresses me out. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to get these cut down to 4.5 inch squares, and I'll bring you back. Good morning, guys. Today we're going to work on Robert Kaufman Silverstone. This one looks super easy. You need a layer cake, and you need 2.5 inch squares, and you need 2.5 inch sashing. I'm going to have to cut some fabric to get my 2.5 inch squares, but my big choice right now is which layer cake do I want to use. Do I want to use this one, which was the Sentiments by Kate England, or do I want to use the Country Roses? Which one do I want to use? I think I'm going to do the Sentiments and save this one for something else. And I do have, because you need, if you're going to do the sashing the way it is shown, I have fabric here that I need to cut. So let me get to cutting, and I'm going to use my new ruler. I'm excited to do that, but let me just set some of this stuff up out of my way. It's going to fall anyway. So let me get to cutting and get my fabric cut. This is a free pattern. You can find it on Fat Quarter Shop, or if you just go straight into Google and Google Robert Kaufman Silverstone pattern, it will take you to Fat Quarter Shop. Either way works. But free pattern. We're going to do this one together. It looks super, super easy. We're just cutting a layer cake down to 4.5 inch squares, and we are cutting some 2.5 inch strips, and some of those strips will be cut down into squares. So let me get this fabric going. I need more coffee. Okay, so yeah, I was right. But you know me, I stress myself out when I'm cutting. So I'm going to take up 4 more. And I'm going to lay my mat on here. And it is not counting like the pinked edges, but I am counting the pinked edges. So I'm going from the edge of the pinked edge on my 1. And I'm going to go ahead and cut. Yeah, I'm moving. 4.5. And then 9. Okay. I'm going to pick my mat up and just give this a twirl. take this off. I will save that. That's an inch. And do it again. This mat is fantastic. I'm going to scoot you back a hair because I don't feel like moving that fabric. So 4.5. Am I in the right spot? Am I in the right spot? And then 9. There's my inch. Set that to the side, and there is my squares, guys. These, I know these were expensive, and I know they were expensive. It was an investment, and my hubby was so fantastic. I mean, I can't even describe how fantastic my hubby is. A lot of people that have watched me know we have been together for 30 years. 30 years we have been together. And I know he's put up with a lot from me. God bless him. I drive him crazy. I know I do. But he puts up with me. Oh my gosh. But he's just so good to me. I mean, I don't even know how to explain how fantastic of a hubby he is. So 4.5. I'm going to do it one more time. And then I'm going to just cut. I'm putting too much pressure on the mat. Is my issue right there. So I'm just going to barely lay my hand on here. There is my 1-inch strip. I'm keeping those 1-inch strips, guys, for my strings. You know, if I had a turning mat, that would probably work really good too. And that's, I have a small one, but not one for a 10-inch square. So that's probably going to be my next investment, is to get me another turning mat. I'm putting too much pressure close to the here, and it's making the little slots kind of pinch together. So I need to put pressure out here, not close to where I'm cutting. Oh, that one slid on me. Let me double check that cut. I think it's fine. I'm looking at the line. It's good. But that's these cutters. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. I am ecstatic about these cutters. All right, I'm going to keep cutting. I wanted to show you something. I'm taking a tiny break from cutting. It gets really hot in this room. Since I'm sitting right here next to this iron, and this iron puts out a lot of heat, my hubby got me a fan too. So I'm going to open up this fan and put it on, because I'm burning up in here. It is like, it's been, well, pretty much everywhere, like a heat wave. So my hubby bought me a fan. I just got to figure out where I'm going to plug it up at and where I'm going to sit it, so it's not like blowing lint all over everything. But yes, I had to have a fan. Okay, so I have my layer cake cut. I have a lot of 2.5-inch squares, and I can cut more. I already have strips cut. I just need to cut them into squares if I need more. So our next step is, I'm going to turn you guys down. I'm going to take four blocks. We're going to take 4 of our squares, and we're going to mark the backs. You know the drill. So you're going to need a small ruler, and you're going to need some kind of marking. I just use a pencil. I'm going to find my center for this corner, and I'm going to find my center for that corner, and then I just connect them. That's how I do it. It's the easiest for me. Find the center of that one, because your pencil lead is thick, so you can't, I have to kind of, so there is my 4, and what I've done is I've sewn on this line. I'm going to fold it open and make sure I'm correct. Then once I know I'm correct, I draw another line out here, and then I'm going to cut. Oh, wait, did I make that big enough to cut in between. I don't know. Let me see. I might need to make that bigger. So that gives me an extra square. But yeah, I do need to make that seam bigger. That gives me a little baby one. Look, little bitty baby one. So then I'm going to do this one just like I did the other one. But I'm going to mark those as I go and probably sew them as I go since they're small. And I'm going to go ahead and iron this one to the dark. If I can get it to lay over correctly here. I'm trying not to mess with it too much because it is bias fabric. Alright, so there's what we have. We have a snowball corner. But to show you, we're going to take one of our squares. And I did have to plug a fan up because, guys, I'm getting hot. So if you hear a little bit of a whirring in the back, you're going to place it in the lower right-hand corner. Just like this. Okay, and that's why I'm kind of holding things down. Lower right hand corner. I'm going to go ahead and draw my other line on there while I'm... So I need a 1/2 inch line, don't I? So that other little square, when I square it up, it's not going to be the same. But like I said, I'm winging this part of it. I'm learning. So I'm actually going to sew on both of these lines. Let's see what we get. Make sure I'm lined up on my corner here. And I need to slam my machine down a bit. Alright, so I went over both lines. Okay, and now I'm just going to take my ruler with a 1/4 inch. There we go, that's better. I did it wrong the first time. I'm just using this one. This one does not hurt my hands nearly as much as ones you have to press down on. So there's my little bitty one. I'm just going to finger press this one over. Try not to... Look at the little bitties. Look, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I will have them. And then we will press this over to the dark. And then we will put our blocks together like this. So let me keep going, guys. This is going to be like an all day. I'm going to start chain piecing on something like this where I know I can chain piece. It's easier. So I'm just going to keep chain piecing. That's how easy this is. So let's get to chain piecing. Okay, I'm getting down to the bottom of my squares that I have cut. So I have to cut some more, but I just want to show you, I quit drawing the lines on the back. I mean, it was just, and I quit doing the little corners because I'm trying to get this done and not take forever. So I'm just lining up my square in my corner. I'm going to turn it, and I do have seam tape. I have my seam tape. So I'm taking this top corner, I'm flipping the one before it up, sliding it up underneath, and I'm putting my top corner right in the V of my foot. Like so, I'm lining that one up, and then I'm lining this corner on my center line on my tape. Now they're not all perfect, but pretty darn close. I was just letting my finger aim for this V, and then once I get to the end, I go through that corner, and that's it. Yeah, I got tired of drawing those lines. I'm not even playing. This fabric is directional, so I have been doing them all the same direction. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I've been doing all these that's a line, because they're going to get turned all different directions. So, but I've been doing them all the same way, direction. Just wanted to show you I've kind of changed it up, and I'm not doing the line. So if you have the tape that you can put down and you can follow that, it's a lot faster. I'm like, it's a lot faster. But just wanted to show you that. And I do have 2 long chains done. My thread, I ran out of thread, so I had to rethread my machine. I'll do 1 more. So I'm going to lay my corner down, get it lined up. Then I'm going to turn it this way, flip this guy up. Line this corner up with my needle or that V in the foot. Hold this down with my finger, keep it on this line. And then I'm just going to aim my finger to that V. And then once I get kind of close to it, I'm going to aim for my corner. But that's what I'm doing right now, guys. That's what I'm doing right now. And this is all I have left. So I'm going to have to cut some more because I still have all of this to do. It is a lot. Because you're cutting, what, 40 squares into 40 pieces? That's a lot. How much? 4 times 4 is, what is 4 times 4? 16? I am no good with math, you guys know that. Is that, then add a 0? Is that 160? Lord have mercy. Alright, but I'm going to show you my chain here in just a second. And we'll start cutting it apart and start ironing. I'm getting hungry too because I've not had anything but a Pop-Tart this morning. And I have a ripe avocado in there. Calling my name for some avocado toast. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut that. But here's a beautiful chain. Alright. And I have another chain over here. So I'm going to get, where is my, you know what I'm talking about. It's buried back in here somewhere. There we go. This guy. This is what I put down as like my most used notion. Because if I do chain piece, this is what I use. And I don't even know where the front of this thing is. I thought I just had it. Here we go. So all I'm going to do is start breaking them up and laying them the same direction. Because then we'll iron them. And then once we get them ironed and cut, we can start making some blocks. And then I'll sew the rest. I mean, I just want to get some of these ironed and cut. Cut and ironed. I love this thing. I will probably buy you guys one to put in the giveaway. Because guys, we did hit 7,000. And I will do another giveaway. So I got to start gathering up some goodies for you guys. Already got a couple things, but not enough to do like a full giveaway. But yep, we're just going to continue on cutting. Okay, I have a little more than half of my blocks snowballed, and I ran out of squares, so I'm going to have to cut some more 2-inch squares. I have them all ironed, so now I am just cutting off this excess, and guys, I just decided I'm not going to keep it. It's just taking too long. I didn't want to be at the sewing machine forever. My hand is already, it was hurting when I came in here. So now I'm just going back and trimming off this stack. Like I said, I've already ironed it open. Iron to the dark side. And I'm just trimming these little corners off. I mean, you could definitely make something out of that. I got a few. I did do a few. And I'll make a little bitty something off of that. But it was just taking me forever. And I was like, I ain't got time for that. If it was a bigger piece, Most definitely. I'm going to trim up a few of these and we'll put a couple of blocks together. Some of them, a lot of them were perfect. Like I said, I quit marking my lines and I was just eyeballing it with my the seam tape that I have on a sewing machine. Let me grab some different colors here so we can do a few. So some lined up beautifully. Some were not as perfect, but you know what? I'm not perfect, so it's fine. Like this one did really good. There's a small amount right here. This one, it's pretty much perfect. Like I said, some of them were perfect. Some of them were just a little off. A couple of them I did break like a corner loose and redo just to even it up better. It was only one so far that I took completely apart and redid because I just did not like at all how it was. I was about to cut that wrong. Lining up. And yes, I'm using this cutter because it feels better in my hand. Cutting this excess off. So I'm going to do a couple colors here. Then we'll make a few of the blocks. Grab in here for a few of the colors. I think I already did this color. A lot of the colors were repeated. That cream color, I think there was several of those. So I have a lot of it. Let's see if I can find. I like this teal. Here's a, I think I got a red polka dot. Oh, here's some lime and green down here on the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So just check your, if it will tell you the amounts, like how many of each pattern you have. That way you'll know if you have like a lot of one specific fabric, because this one did have. And it was that lightest cream color. Okay, let me do a green. Let me do this green. And we'll make one. So I know all of my points are not going to line up great perfectly because some of them were a little off. It's fine. But I'm a little off. It is fine. Just go slower, be more precise if you are like truly concerned about all your points being absolutely perfect. Because mine are not going to be. I can tell you right now, they're not going to be. There's one of those light colored ones. Now, I was wondering, like, if, like, here it is snowballed. What if you, like, turned to, what would, I mean, you know, what kind of pattern would you get if you started messing with it? But I'm not going to mess with it. But, you know, I was thinking, like, what would you get if you just started fooling with it, you know? Interesting. I'll have to look back on the camera here in a little bit and see. All right, so I'm going to flip these guys over. And this is where, like, we would chain piece again. And I think that the pattern, did the pattern say iron open? I did not iron open. I just ironed to the dark. And I am just going to match up my corners as best as possible here. Like I said, I know they're not going to be perfect. Actually, I'm not going to line up my corners. I'm going to try to line up this seam. This seam. That's hard to do when they're on a diagonal like that, lining up that seam. Keeping my finger on it, hoping to keep it straight. And I'm going to just use my seam tape right here to get my 1/4 inch, which I pretty much know now on this foot where my 1/4 inch is. And again, I'm going to try to line up this seam here. Not mess with it too much, but I just shifted it, so it's probably all jacked up. Okay. And this one I'm going to press to the left. Oh no, my right, your left. And then this one I'm going to press the other direction. Just with my fingers. That one's really good. That one's off a little bit. I'm going to grab me a pin. Stick a pin in it. She is done. I'm going to line up this corner. Okay, I'm going to stop right at my seam because I'm going to pull that pin out and line up this corner. I'm still on a 1/8. Came in a little bit right there at the center, but I think we're okay. We hit that with an iron here on. I probably will square all these back up once I have them all made. There is our block. Now there is what I'm talking. See the shadow of the white behind? I don't like that, but when you're using white or really light fabrics, it's kind of hard to not get that shadow. But there's what the back looks like. And that is the block that we're going to be making. So that is it for this video. It probably went kind of long, but this is the block. And I will bring you guys back for part 2 when we're putting the quilt together and show you like the end result. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure you hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up because there is a big thank you coming. It's coming. And you know it's always going to be like, oh, you know, in the title, don't miss this one. This is one you don't want to miss, or big surprise for you. There's always going to be something in the title to kind of let you know you need to watch this one. I'll see you guys on the next one.